you know that he knows 20 years ago, these same criticisms, well, let's be technical, 19 years ago, the 2004-2005 Philadelphia Eagles had been to multiple NFC championship games with Donovan McNabb before that. They add Terrell Owens. Owens gets hurt in the playoffs. They still get to the Super Bowl. And there's major issues with Andy Reid. Some are saying maybe he doesn't need to be calling the games. That Andy Reid is simply here we go. This is what I read about Andy Reid. This goes back to 2005. This was a write-up from SB Nation. 2004-2005 Eagles. The Eagles could have led the Patriots at halftime. They ran the clock for 43 seconds to 17 before throwing again to Pinkston. That's when Reid decided to use the Eagles' first time out, the first half only. That's just that drive. What about the long drive in the second half where they're down multiple scores and they're doing this long, drawn-out drive? And Bill Belichick, you could see him on the sideline. This was later revealed in NFL films. He's like, is the score right? Why is he doing this? What is he doing? Belichick's freaking out, right? Well, it's just poor management. And then you had the Terrell Owens, who's turned out to be a bad seed. He's sitting there criticizing and making fun of McNabb for throwing up on the field in that last drive and all this stuff going on. But so that happens. We know the guy's good with quarterbacks. We know he's got a good one. Kevin Cobb. I mentioned McNabb. We mentioned Michael Vick getting out of prison. Very rusty, getting the playoffs with him, getting a second $100 million contract out of the Eagles for Donovan McNabb. You name it. Jeff Garcia. How about that when we thought he was washed up there with the 49ers, goes with the Eagles and gets to the playoffs with him. Alex Smith, another guy that people thought was washed up. He was in his second team coming from the 49ers to the Chiefs here. He gets the playoffs with all these players, but he could not. Mind you, now Kyle Shanahan with Jimmy Garoppolo, a guy who was traded away. He was a second-round pick. He was traded away from the Patriots. All right, a guy who played 4 games and was hurt in that one game with the Patriots. So there was some concern there, a little bit, not much, but they play well under him. Trey Lance, a guy that was considered a project. He missed with him, the North Dakota State guy, but then he gets the very last pick in the draft, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, and they get to the Super Bowl with him. So, ironically, we didn't think that the guy who won the Super Bowl, some are saying, I'm not one of these people. I love Andy Reid. I've had my criticism of Andy Reid. Do you guys remember when he was down 24-0? The very beginning. Now they came back with Mahomes. They came back with Mahomes and won that game in 2019 to the Houston Texans. But you look at all those games where they had bad second halves, just did not very vanilla with Donovan McNabb, and he was actually fired. He was fired from Philadelphia. So if you look at Kyle Shanahan, who's 45 years old, this guy's 66, by the way. Andy Reid. Andy Reid's 66. He's Andy Reid. Andy Reid was Kyle Shanahan, except Shanahan's got a better resume 20 years ago. Think about if Kyle Shanahan, now he might get fired from the 49ers, like Andy Reid from the Eagles. And what if he gets his somewhat equivalent to Patrick Mahomes?